So we're going to take a look at example C now, and in this one we want to find an angle. So remember what we said when we were looking at this, we always assume it's the sine rule unless it fits one of the two conditions. So because we're looking for an angle, then if it was going to be the cosine rule, then we need to know all three sides, and then that allows us to find out any angle. We don't have that situation, therefore it's definitely the sine rule that we use for this. Okay, so let's label our triangle. So we'll call this triangle ABC, and then label the sides, so that'll be side B, side A, side C. So that will give me, right out the sine rule, so we get A over sine A is equal to B over sine B is equal to C over sine C. So let's tick off what we have then. Well, we know what side C is, we know what side A is, we know what angle A is, and we are being asked to find out the size of angle C. So we can forget all about the middle one. So that means that we have A over sine A is equal to C over sine C. Now remember, because I am finding an angle, all I'm going to do is just flip this sine rule upside down. So that will give me sine A over A is equal to sine C over C. That allows my variable to be on the top. Now I can just go ahead and sub in. So that's going to give me sine 23 over 9.4 is equal to sine x over 13.6. So let's cross multiply. So that's going to give me sine x times 9.4 is equal to sine 23 times 13.6. So then divide both sides by 9.4. So we get sine x is equal to sine 23 times 13.6 over 9.4. So let's get a value for sine x then. So go to your calculator. Remember, make sure your calculator is in degrees mode. So multiply sine 23 by 9.6, then divide by 9.4, and it gives me 0.565. Uh, 3131221. So x will be sine to the minus 1 of 0.565313121, which will give me us 34.4 degrees. That's our related angle. So at this stage we usually go to the cast diagram, and we're looking to see, okay, well, sines are positive because 0.565 is a positive number. So my solution is going to lie either in the first or second quadrants. Which one is going to be? Well, for that, just look at the diagram. The angle that we have is quite a small angle, so it has to be the smaller of the two. So therefore, x is just going to stay as 34.4 degrees. We don't need to consider the second quadrant because that would give us an obtuse angle. Okay. Let's take a look at example D now. So straight away, this is the cosine rule because we have a triangle where we have all three sides and we don't have any angles. So when we assume the sine rule, unless it's the cosine rule, this is the one we're looking for. So we're looking for the situation where we have all three sides. So let's go ahead and write down the labels of the sides. So we'll call this triangle ABC. So write out the formula from your exam booklet, which would say cos A is equal to b squared plus c squared minus a squared all over 2bc. That's a direct copy from your formula sheet. Now what we need to do is rearrange it so that we can use it in our formula here. So label the sides. So this is going to be side C, this will be side A, and this will be side B. We want to work out the value of angle C, so I'm going to just change the formula to make it say cos C. And remember, look at the pattern of the letters. If this is angle A, this is side A. So if I'm looking for angle C, then the thing I'm going to subtract on the numerator will be side C. So that will be a squared plus b squared minus c squared all over 2ab. And then we just go ahead and plug this in. So that will give me cos C is equal to 10.2 squared plus 6.3 squared minus 8.5 squared all over 2 times 10.2 times 6.3. So just go ahead and plug that into the calculator. So 10.2 squared plus 6.3 squared minus 8.5 squared over 2 times 10.2 times 6.3. So that's going to give me cos C is equal to 0.556 178 0268. So C is going to be cos to the minus 1 of that. So shift cos that. And that's going to give me 56.2 degrees. That's my related angle. Now remember, we're solving a trig equation here, so we should always consider the cast diagram. So that means that if I'm looking at this, we're dealing with positive cosines. Cosines are positive in the first and fourth quadrants, but because we're dealing with a triangle and the biggest angle you can get is 180 degrees, we need to just not consider these two quadrants. So therefore I can say that angle X is equal to 56.2 degrees. Okay.